Geno, can you just talk about two things, Ashlyn Shade and the way she's progressed this season, and then in the third quarter, I mean, your freshmen and sophomores scored 27 of your 30 points and kind of blew the game open there for you. Just how that whole group has kind of matured a little bit, at least since the preseason.
Yeah, little by little. I mean, it takes time. The things you learn as a freshman hopefully help you as a sophomore either be better at the things that you weren't so good at, add to the things that you were already pretty good at. I think that's our job as coaches also, to try to make sure that every player adds at least one thing to their game each year. I never quite understood why her personality was one thing and her game was a different way. So I think that's starting to kind of come together. You know, she's an aggressive kid by nature. She's an athletic kid by nature. She's strong. And I don't think last year she took advantage of any of those things, and she's made a concerted effort to do that. And I think the more our young players practice with us, the more Paige keeps talking to them and gives them tremendous confidence in themselves. You know, they're gamers. That's the only way you can explain, you know, how quickly they've picked up some things. I mean, there were some plays that both Sarah and Morgan made that, you know, they look like grown-up plays. They don't look like, you know, freshman plays. And as Allie gets more minutes, you know, there'll be things that she'll do. So, you know, you want them to get better, a little better every game, and today was a perfect example of that.
What did you like about your guys' facilitating tonight, especially initially the rough start, but keeping seven assists? Is that what you want from her, or would you prefer a little bit more?
I mean, it's hard to get more than 7, you know, because we have a lot of people that touch the ball, a lot of people that pass the ball. I'd like for her to get more creative with the ball, you know. I think there's times when, I mean, we started the game with her making a great play, you know, on that bounce past the ice. And she's either all into throwing that a pass or all into scoring no matter what. And there's got to be a little bit of a nuance there when to, you know, I can look like I'm trying to score, but I'm, you know, conscious of that pass that I'm going to throw. And I think as we keep on her about, you don't have to pick up your dribble and then hope that the right person makes the right cut or that you find somebody open. A lot of times that does happen, but I like to see her keep the ball alive a little bit longer. She's played a lot of basketball. I trust her. I trust her to make decisions, and whatever decision she makes, I'm okay. And we'll talk about it after. You know, she's not one of these kids that is checking with me to see, should I pass it, should I shoot it, you know. So I've got tremendous confidence in her.
22 points for Paige on 10 shots tonight. Just how close was that first half to, you know, the aggressive version of her that you're hoping to see?
Yeah, I you know, we scripted about 3 or 4 plays, 5 plays maybe before we came out, and we wanted to get some momentum going with her and Sarah, especially those two. But I felt in past years I had to do that, but this year she kind of takes that on her own. puts it on her own shoulders. She is attacking the basket way more often. You know, she's only going to be in college a couple more months, so the referees are running out of time to actually call the times that she gets smacked in the face or, you know, gets hit on every bucket. So if they're waiting to surprise her, you know, on senior night, I'd like for them to start calling them a little bit earlier.
Coach, you ended the first half on a 16-4 run and then shot over 80% from the field in the third quarter. What does that mean to you heading into such a big game later this week?
Good teams, you know. You guys are actually asking me questions about things that we actually talked about at halftime. You know, sometimes that's not the case, but the things that I said right after the game were good teams generally don't detract from themselves. When they find something that is good, they build on it. They build on it. When someone comes off the bench, they add to what we're doing. And today, you know, we went into halftime on a little bit of a run, and when we came out, we added to it. And that's exactly what you want to see. That's what good teams do. They don't come out flat in the second half. Now it's early in the season, don't get me wrong. I could, you know, could be completely opposite next Friday, but I like that we kept adding to what we were doing. That was really good. We want to kind of keep that process.
Yeah, more than twice as many twos as threes. A lot of that's, I know, Paige posting up. Is that what you want to see? There's going to be days when the three-pointer's not there and just diversify it and get her down low and get the other players maybe to attack the basket.
Yeah, I like to think that if you want to get 25 threes every night, you can do it. You just have to not pass any of them up, and the ball has to keep moving. At the same time, you know, I've got a player like Paige who doesn't want to just settle for that. She wants to be able to go where she wants to go with the ball, and if she wants to post up, she posts up. If she wants to drive it, she drives it. If she wants to shoot it, she shoots it. So we kind of follow her lead in that regard. Today, we were able to get a lot of touches in the lane, which is good. I'd still like to maybe get 25 or so threes every night. But, you know, a bucket's a bucket. And you know, if you're shooting 75, 80%, just keep shooting twos, right? They add up after a while.
Gavin and then Mike.
Geno, with a little more depth this year and more coming, do you have a little bit more of a comfort level when Paige just have to sit down and take a break?
I'm still working on that, Gav. I'm still working on that. I'm not 100% confident or completely secure in knowing that we can, but I'm gonna, as the early part of the season, I'm gonna find out how much we can. I do it in practice a lot, and I know I'm gonna have to do it in games. And that's going to force others to step up. Like we said in the third quarter, you know, even though Paige was out there in the third quarter, a lot of other people did a lot of the damage. Again, you know, the fourth quarter, it's, you know, sometimes, you know, I like to see us be a little more cohesive, but that's what you get with a lot of the, you know, when you have a lot of players, if you throw them in there and you expect it to look like a certain way, it won't. And sometimes, like in the third quarter, it will, but only because she was out there. So now, can it look a little bit like that when she's not? Yeah, that's the next goal. That's the next goal.
Geno, how would you describe Ashlyn's physical gifts, it seems like there's something very consistent and repeatable about the way the ball comes off her hand when she shoots. Something very consistent about how hard she runs to get out ahead of the pack. There's just seems like a lot of her game is born of good habits over time.
Well, yeah, mostly. I do believe that players need to play in college the way they played in high school. You gotta show the reason why you were recruited. So, you know, she led the EYBL the whole summer tour in scoring, which means this is what I do for a living. I put the ball in the basket. And so that's a comfort level that she has. And the only time it gets kind of short-circuited is when her brain short circuits. And she, for whatever reason, strays from what her strengths are. Because when she stays with them, like she has been the last couple of games, she's a very confident, very aggressive player that knows this is where I like to get my shots from. And, you know, we have enough other scorers on the floor now that it opens up a lot more things for her than were available last year.
Just what did you think of Ice tonight?
You know, I thought last game and this game, I thought Ice defensively was good. I think she's, you know, she's not making shots right now. You know, she's been struggling with it in practice as well. But I think defensively and, you know, being the only one that played last year, she has to be able to give us some things that the other two are trying to catch up on. But I think she's been really solid and she's been really patient. You know, she's going to make some of those, you know, 15, 17 footers, which would really, really change how we play. But I've been really happy with, you know, she's given us the things that we really, really need. That's a big thing. You know, that's a big thing. And, I know Sarah can shoot from the perimeter. Jenna swears to me that she can. I don't know. You know, maybe she should write it down. I'd probably understand. I could probably read Arabic better than I can understand her, and I can't do either. So she keeps telling me that she can make those, you know, 3-pointers. I believe it when I see it. It'd be a miracle. It'd be like a bigger miracle than the pyramids if she makes a 3.
Coach, going back to Caitlin, 3 of her 4 turnovers were in the first half, and 2 of her 3 fouls were in the first half. Obviously, something you probably don't like. What was the message to her going to the final 20 minutes, considering that she didn't turn over the ball as much, or she stayed out foul trouble in the second half?
Yeah, the things about whatever a player's strengths are, that's also what's going to get them in trouble, you know? So it just takes time to fit into the style of play that we have and the system of play that we have, and how the way our defense is structured is a little bit different than the way she's used to playing at Princeton. So it's taken some time to get used to it. And she's another one that's very aggressive by nature, and those people tend to foul more times than not, and it becomes a discipline thing. The turnovers, yeah, with again, I think we alluded to that with Caitlin, they're headstrong kind of turnovers. You know, they're just impulsive things that with time are going to get taken care of. And as I said, I'm not worried. I think she's done a phenomenal job, and she's going to keep getting better.